Hello everyone and welcome to yet another live coding until. I'm your host Tony, and today we'll keep building our Patreon page clone. We'll have this website that will be able to take a subscription from customers. Someone will be able to land on this page, click a button, go through Stripe checkout and give us money every month or every year, every however often we want. It's gonna be great. It's part 4 and a bonus one that we did with Next.js. 4 parts have been with SvelteKit, with some learnings from the Next.js stream. Last episode we did a lot of webhook handling. We set up quite a few things with Stripe, we integrated with Stripe, and we managed to synchronize creating products and prices and all of that with our Supabase database. It remains to be seen whether this is a truly good idea, because we could be fetching all the products and all the prices straight from the Stripe API. So why have this middle layer here and get yourself potentially into a source of truth problem situation? But it could be beneficial. This is what Next.js suggests. So that's what I'm going with an open mind. And today we'll finally saw a product in the UI and go through checkout. So let's get to it. We have a big agenda for today, an ambitious agenda, but we'll be able to get through at least the non-bonus stuff. So as a reminder, this is the Tonify website. It's actually real. You can go there, you can see some demos, including one made for my latest YouTube video. If you want to learn how to do text gradients like this, awesome gradients like this, animated ones, non-animated ones, have a look. It's a video that's under 5 minutes. It's gonna be fun. But what I really want to do here is, so the next video that we're gonna have, the next one is gonna be about the Views Navigation API, give a bit more of app-like experience to our website. So you can see on the right how the pages are sliding in. Something you may be seeing on mobile apps quite a lot. And whenever a website does this, you get the app-like feel complement, which is awesome. We'll be making our website even more legit, even more nice to use in the future. Today, it's the fundamentals. Let's show a product and have a person be able to buy it. So I do have Tailwind UI, and they have a very modest card here. We'll only be showing one product today, so I guess it's gonna be price and the title, the description, and get started or buy or purchase now, sign up, something like that. We'll have nothing too fancy, but we'll probably have a toggle as well to toggle between monthly and annual billing, because annual saves you money. We'll figure that out as well. First up, let's get this card in. So somewhere here, maybe this is a section. And maybe we've got another section which has the products. And for now, it's just going to be the one product, which is going to have maybe a heading. I think it's going to be the support plan. It's going to have description goes here. And yeah, a price. The price will be flying above, which is interesting. Do I have the euro symbol here? Maybe not. Let's copy this. Next step will be actually getting this from the database. So the name and description, we're going to be getting it from the database. Maybe we'll be using the format currency API as well. Let's do that. internationalization, format, currency. This is what we want. Our number is going to be the price. This is the one that looks more like the one we want. Kind of hard to copy things here. So let's create like a script tag here, right in our page. Maybe we'll extract that component somewhere, cars component, because it's getting a bit crowded. The formatter is going to be this. Yen for English would be fine. Currency, euros would be fine. This is the currency formatter. Here we can probably just say currency formatter format this, and yeah, it shows the dots as well, which is good. It's all good. There may be some options about the significant digits. Maybe we can say minimum significant digits is going to be 0. Minimum fractal digits, sorry. So let's make that 0, and then we just see a 10 in the UI here. But let's extract this section into a plans. Can I do this with a handy refactoring tool? Yeah, it just gives me this surround thing, not extract component, sadly. Oh well, we'll do it the old school way. We'll create plans. Svelte. Maybe here. I have the script as well. And this decides how to format the currency. Don't need this, we need this, and here we bring in the ants. We didn't need the script tag after all. All right. So these plans, each one of them is going to have a card, but we only have the one plan now. That's why I'm not keen to do anything hasty. Let's put a surface, a different surface here. Let's give it padding, rounded corners for sure. Shadow, mid, low, just a subtle shadow. And padding 8. Maybe px 8, and so that's left and right 8, and the y 6, and then it kind of looks like this. Not too bad. When it's light, it looks like this. Decent, I'd say. And of course, I'm getting inspired by Tailwind UI, but not actually seeing what they've put there. Oh well. They want the price nice and big. The name of the plan is smaller, which is interesting. Wonder how big they have it here. 5XL. And then interesting that, as I suspected, they do have the header first, but then they do some flex magic, I guess, to show the price first. It's kind of neat. Order first. Neat. So 5XL here. 4XL here. Maybe 3XL. Using bold anywhere else? On TAS. We're using just bold. So yeah, we can use it again. Just copy this. Copy for now. And then we're gonna have like a feature list eventually. Eventually, maybe right now, to be honest. So in the UI, you get straight to the H2 and then you read the price. If you're using a screen reader, this is going to be quite nicer. And let me set up the noodle timer. I forgot, because I do run out of steam if I don't have my noodle timer set up to take a few breaks. I can actually go for longer if I do take breaks and communicate exactly what I'm doing. So we have the price all nice and good. Maybe everything has like a gap too in between. But this one has some extra gap. And then we'll have an unordered list with features. I guess this is an icon. It's an SVC. And let's look at Stripe actually and pick some products from there. So we have our product catalog set up from last time. We have these products. And the feature list is Production-ize, private Discord channel. Let's say we're offering ad-free and revised videos as well. It's going to be huge. Let's say this has a max W rows, 65 characters. Maybe not. How do these guys at Tailwind constrain the width? Maybe it's a specific thing. Oh, it's grid. They're using grid, of course. So it's like 1/3 of their container. This is a grid with 1 column that becomes 3 columns. Which maybe we can steal, even now that we only have 1. Maybe at this size. It has like 2 columns, and then we can position it into the middle column somehow. Let's see how. So we can start at 2 with this one. Call start 2, and we get it in the middle position. This is kind of nice. Maybe here it becomes a bit too wide. But hey, that's fine. Do they do any other trick? Not really. It does have a max width. They do have a gap. But only when they're one after the other. So just to add a bit of padding left and right. A bit of margin left and right for this to look a bit better. Small screens. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. We do need this to be lower, I'd imagine. Does this have a header? What do they do here? Let's have this. So maybe this is actually another div. And there is a section. title like this. It means that these are going to be H3s in the end. And these are about as big as the prices, I suppose. But let's look at our hero section. Yeah, it is a bit bigger. So 5XL should be fine. Too big. And I'm thinking that now I want my hero section to be almost like view screen. So have specific vertical height. And I think I need a custom attribute for this. Each screen, they have like 100% viewport height. 5/6 could work, but maybe I want 90% viewport height for this section. Ooh, does the viewport... Not really. I was wondering if the viewport counts the footer, but not really. The idea is to be able to see a hint of the plans at the end of the page. Not a designer, but I think that's a decent enough design. Let's see it full screen as well. Let's go to localhost. And yeah, I think that would do the trick. What else do these Tailwind guys do? I also want a per month here, which may dynamically become per year. And I want it to fly at the top. Do I want to fly at the top? Probably. What do companies usually do? Do they do slash or do they do pair? Spelling out pair. I also have a nice image that maybe I'll want to show, but maybe not. These guys are not showing anything. Ah, and of course we want the action button. Huh. Would we use the same button? This one? Yeah, these buttons probably should extract to a component. forgot to do this offline. We may do it. And we'll paste it for the features list. We won't have a GitHub icon. On click, we'll be doing nothing, you know. This doesn't need to be a flex container. How come? Did I eat class that makes the text be white? Interesting. Like here it's white, but what's the rule that makes it be that color? We want it to be the light text all the time. But how did I get it to be so white? Something genius I did in a previous stream that I forgot? Because it's just a button, it's not like it has anything weird about it. And yeah, no other component there. So somehow this stays white. The text sando as well. Just in a span? Is it that it's in a span that makes it do that? Surely not. Did I set a theme dark? What did I do? Yeah, nothing color related. Oh, have a style tag, of course. I'm applying this. Oh, Johnny. All right, let's create a component for this. Lib components button.svelte. Let's put this here. I guess we can do a slot here. And we can copy this. And we'll figure out about passing on clicks and all of that in due course. So now if we actually use that button, no need to pass any classes, just subscribe. All right, looks good. Makes you want to click it. Looks good in dark mode as well. Pretty nice. Should we so bring in an SVG as well? Why not? Does this, I guess. Download this SVG, find it somewhere, find it here. Insecure download blocked from fonts.google.com. Interesting. And yeah, let's put it in our icons directory. I missed. Okay, I did it now. And it doesn't have a color, which is cool, I guess. Yes, it's cool. The view box is huge. Let's paste it in SVG SVG OMG. Paste. Looks like it works. And now we want to use it for every next item here. We'll probably need to set a width, but we'll do it. We'll import it like we import the YouTube icon in other places. Cool. And I suppose we want them to be this big. Hard to say. Another flex container, center, gap 2, cool. And we want them to have a specific color. So we can add fill current color. It works. We can even have them have our brand accent color. This is text secondary 400. Yeah, that looks nice. It looks nice in black. Looks decent as well. All right, so the question is, do we want it slightly smaller? Yeah, let's say so. Sweet. Looks decent in big screens as well. We'll have like 3 plans here in the future. And I think this means that we've done this and we've done this. And then we'll dynamically fetch things from Supabase, I suppose. I was gonna create a toggle basing it off this tailwind component. Probably this one. But let's do some backend to spice things up. I think that's a good idea. Probably a good idea. So let's have a sip. We've done some fun UI stuff. And we have a long agenda to go through, but we'll get there. 25-minute timer. Set it up. And let's go. So it seems like we want to fetch those products dynamically from the backend, from our Supabase database. For that, we need a load method for our page. And the way we do that is we have a class page.server.ts. And we can take inspiration from other pages that have something like that, really. And we won't want to redirect anything. We won't check the user is in. I'm surprised I didn't have a plus page.server.ts for the main page. We won't be returning meta tags, but we will be returning this stuff from Supabase, which we will be getting from the locals. And I guess Supabase from products select, we'll want the product ID, name, description, price, and I'll refresh how you join tables in Supabase, but I think it has, oh, it doesn't have the price ID here. It's prices that have the product ID, but I think it should work the same. So I should be able to fetch like price ID and unit amount and currency. And I only, and the interval, if it's monthly or not. And I only want to fetch the recurring prices. So is there like a where? I think it's equals. And we can do maybe it's maths. Yeah, it's maths. So products should be active for sure. Let's try that and see if it works. We don't need to await this, which is cute, because if we put a promise nested in the data here, it's going to be streamed. Which is great because it's below the page. They are guaranteed to be below the page. Almost guaranteed. Which would mean that we can take our time fetching them. I'm just thinking about this on the fly. So now that our load method returns a promise nested in here, we can export let data, and this will be typed for us. And it's going to have streamed something. And I think the way to do that is we await, but yeah, let's double check SvelteKit docs. I think we await. In here. Maybe that's why I didn't particularly want to pass this around, because here we can await data streamed products, and I don't particularly want to type this myself. Oh well. And this thing is gonna export let products. Who knows what that's gonna be? Let's say it's a promise that immediately it resolves to an array to start with, but we'll type it better. And plans. Let's save that. Now plans, be able to take products equals data framed products. Almost there. I forgot to select, I think, in the load method. So we're matching this. No, we did. What else can we do? Nothing, surely. Oh no, we do want stuff because it's gonna have like data or error, like all of that. Yeah. Select. So yeah, it's gonna have like data, error, so you kinda have to await this. Oh well. I guess we can find the data in here. Query foreign table seems correct. We can do an equal like this to check that the price is active. Sure. This is just something that has data and error. It's the product's response, which maybe we don't want to expose to the client. So let's await this. Let's just have the products streamed, not streamed for now. We'll enhance it later. This is gonna have data and error. If error, then what? There is an error. And let's do this, or else let's do the empty array, I guess. Canonize list products immediately. And just return it. Why not? User doesn't need to know this, we'll just pretend this never happened. Internal error, great. Because here we can say if data products and data products has length, only then show our plans section and pass the products. And then everyone is happy. Great. Great. Of course, what we actually want is products to be data products. All right, let's see what we did wrong. Oh, of course. So the foreign table we want is prices, so we need to say prices, even though it's quite awkward. Because each one has a single price. And now, no errors, it all looks correct. And we could say that this is not a promise, it's actually, what is it? I love it when Svelte types stuff for me, and I hate it when I have to type stuff for me. So yeah, this has to be this. TypeScript knows. And I guess I could get that those products there from types. From dollar types. Should they magically get it or not? Maybe not. So let's create a product type, unfortunately. Product has an ID, has a name, a description, has a price, it has prices, which have currency, else do we care about? Unit amount, I guess. Currency is going to be a string. And what else do we have there? This, turn on this. Unit amount. It's a number and an interval. Which for our purposes should be month or year. Which means that maybe our backend will be filtering those things for us. And of course it has an ID. Now our page of Svelte will be absent because it's like this doesn't quite track. So we can call this UI price, call this UI product. If they're not like this, then we cannot show them. And maybe we can have like a types file in lib if we don't have one already. And can we say is UI price, do a type card here. So if this is an object, let's say we also wanted to have UI price. Month, or all of this. Is it year? Like we want one of those two. And maybe I'll put this check on the backend file, because that's the one that gets like these weird products. So the name could be string or null, the description would be string or null, everything can be string or null, everything is nullable besides ID. So I guess we want to check all. All of those. And the type of price is number. unit amount, sorry. And the currency. Unit amount is number, currency string, and that's it. All right. We'll see if that's correct in a moment. I think that should filter a few things. Const products is data filter product prices. So it should have at least one price, or else we cannot show it. And is UI price. We want to map this to every product price. Prices map filter UI price, or every actually. So every price there should be a UI price. Or filter. Sure. And then it should still have a price. We can check that later. Can we define what we want to return from this load method? I guess we can give output data here. So if we did products is UI product, will that be kind of happy? Okay, maybe we want to reduce here. So let's reduce something. We have the accumulator, we have the product from the DB, and we're going to be doing something in the reducer and start with the empty array. This will always be defined. And maybe we want to do if DB product prices equals DB product filter create a product. It's going to be mapping the product or not. It's going to be spreading the DB product. Is this a call-still operation? I'm not sure. But the prices are going to be DB product filter is UI price. If product price length is more than 0, then I'm gonna push the product to the accumulator. And this thing, accumulator, is gonna be a UI product array. All right, we're getting somewhere, I think. Let's create an is UI product type card. In which we check that X, let's call this price. Let's call this product, to not be confused with Twitter, the app formerly known as Twitter. And what else? Noodle timer has gone. And here, product is UI product. And too much. I love multi-line select. So the product. Just do it in a different order, more fun order. So name should be a string, and the description should be a string, and this array of prices should have a length. All right, I think that's reasonable, but number is not Boolean. Let's see how far we get before a squiggly. It's fine. What's this? So more than 0. Okay. Good, and now we're gonna use that type card. It's product, it's UI product, and then we push it. And then we return the accumulator. And now all of these products are gonna be UI products. Or undefined, I guess. Why are they undefined? Or null. All right, and then the UI will know that these are UI products. Or null. They may be null, they may be 0. If they're not null, then they're definitely UI product. Somehow we did it. So these things we remove, we get this from our new type, UI product, and we can start using them. There is no await in here because products is not a promise at this stage. Never was a different plan. My dog is getting a bit antsy. And let's create a hero product, which is gonna be the first product. Which should be the only product that we have. Get here. And from the hero product, I guess its hero product may have a different price. So we'll check that. Hero product. Let's show the first price. No, sorry. So here we want the name. Here we want the description. Here we want the features that will keep hard-coded. So if we've done this correctly, this should change. Keep an eye there. I'm gonna save. Changed. So good. If we go to our products in Stripe, we can change support to support plan. And then if I refresh, then this also updates. Great, we're getting there. It's time for a small break. So with the chat, if you have any questions. I think we're gonna need a part 5 for this. If we are already on 1 hour past and we're doing the mostly fun UI stuff. But who knows? I do say we have done the Stripe checkout flow before, like 2 years ago in a different app. So maybe it is gonna be faster. So we fetch them from Supabase DB. Let's have a different item for here. Because now we're gonna be messing with the prices. I also suspect that we're getting inactive prices at the moment, and we're gonna fix that. Yeah, checkout sessions may be faster. All right, 25 more minutes. Let's see. If we've done this and talked about this, and we're talking about this in 25 minutes, then we're in a good spot. Let's see. So, the prices. Let's console log the products. Let's console log the prices. The world's most elaborate console log. So we are getting 2 prices with different IDs. One of them should be inactive. And we're not getting the annual one, interestingly enough. If we don't do this check, what do we get? We only get monthly ones. Interesting. Right, let's keep that in for now. Don't want this. Let's look at the product catalog. Ah, yeah, of course, we only have the one price. Let's do the yearly one. It's going to be recurring, annual, yearly. We're going to create this and prove that it syncs with our Supabase database as well, because next time we load, we should be getting the yearly price too. Great, all good. But if we accidentally create like a weekly price, we don't really have a UI for it. That's why we're filtering it out. But there is an archived one here that I don't want to show, and I can't delete for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, this is in test mode, so it's not that big a deal. But if that happens, I don't want it to appear. And I wonder, we've seen how we can query a table with the .eq, but can I do prices active true here? It looks like it doesn't crash, so that's heartwarming. And yeah, let's do process active false. Do we only get one? I think it worked. Cool. So yeah, this match selector can take nested attributes, which means we can hit this thing on our table. So we're fetching from the products table, and we're also joining and fetching from the prices table, and we can check for prices dot active. That's quite neat. I'd clip that. If you've learned nothing else in this show, I've learned this, and it's cool. Yeah, so we don't need that for it anymore. We should only be getting the valid prices. But now we want the price to be active, to be dynamic. So in our plans, here, yeah, GitHub Copilot is correct, and that's the monthly price. Interesting. Interesting. Let's do like this fallback. If that doesn't exist, we should show nothing. But hey. Also, in the database, the prices are stored in cent. which means that we need to divide by 100. Then we're back to 10 euros per month, which is cool, but let's prove that this is dynamic by using the annual price as well. Which is going to be 10 times as much. Just for fun, let's do annual price. Let me spell this. Yeah. All right. But we don't actually want to default this. We want to ensure that everything at least has like one hero price. So, we could switch our types a little bit. And say, well, let's see what we're doing on the server. It's a UI product. Maybe we can do it here. Monthly price is this. Yearly price is this. And then the product can be the product spread. Let's do this mapping first. Let's make all of them be UI prices. Then the monthly price is going to be this. Then the product should have monthly price and yearly price. Then it should be a UI product. And then we can push it to the accumulator. And our type guard UI product should actually have a monthly price, which is a UI price, and a yearly price, which is a UI price. That's what I'm saying now. And should we be doing all of this check? I guess so. And similarly, we'll do this for the yearly price. I keep trying to say annual. My doggy is sleeping so deeply. All right, with all of that, we could say that the price is hero product monthly price. Something blew up. monthly price, the monthly price have something like unit price, or what does it have? Just type in this unit amount. The price. So the active price, the visible price. The visible price is gonna be this, and we're gonna toggle whether it's the monthly price or not with some state. So let's create our toggle. We got there. This is some HTML there. Can copy all of it, I suppose. Keep saying animal. So let's create a price interval toggle. CS. Does it do anything weird with colors? Maybe yes, maybe no. Yeah, let's do this. Make this primary. Let's try to render this toggle. It looks like something. That's for sure. And maybe the classes are going to be in here. Oop. We can put it inside a div. There more background here. I guess they want me to apply this when someone clicks. So let's do it, I guess. It's already interesting. This one should probably also be a button, but hey. I don't think I can just pass events, unfortunately. So yeah, it looks like that this thing is gonna be export.net enabled. Pulse. You don't need this to be a type button. Roll this switch, sure. And then I guess we have a conditional class. Which is gonna work like this. Oh, I have a toggle here. So BG gray 200. Let's apply this when not enabled. BC primary 100 when we are enabled. And similarly, they're saying that translate x0 when not enabled, translate x5 when enabled. So all we need now is a non-click handler. Just trying to think, like pass pass on click to component. There must be a way. Just this, I guess. We'll just put in on click here and that's it. Nice. So yearly billing false. And the visible price is going to be is yearly billing dependent. Then we switch this around. Of course, the enabled is going to be is yearly billing. It works. Just adding a 0 there. All right, let's go back to our Stripe for the lols. Let's make the yearly price. Yeah, let's leave it at that. It's just fun to add a single 0. Let's say save 2 months. And of course, in the plans, we want to say per according to ternary. If it's yearly billing, then we say year, or else we say month. Looks pretty good to me. So look how it works in a large screen as well. Oh, 833 per month. It's nothing. Video is going to be, I don't know. Tunnel Islands. Kind of cute. Right, that looks pretty alright, which means that we have made it. to getting our stuff from the DB and having a monthly versus annual page toggle. But now we're going to talk about Stripe Checkout. So Stripe Checkout is a low-code way to get people to pay for your stuff. This is the exciting bit. They click a button on your website, which could be in anything. Today we're doing SvelteKit, but it can be like Webflow, it can be a WordPress site, it can be Squarespace, whatever. From the no to low-code solutions, nowadays I do enjoy Webflow. I'm telling people that if getting into engineering is too intimidating, try to make someone a website in Webflow and see how that feels. That will get your feet wet, if you like that expression. I don't particularly like get my feet wet. If I'm gonna swim, I'm gonna swim wholesale. Let's dive in. Anyway, in Webflow or SvelteKit or wherever you wish, you can have a button that gets you to a Stripe checkout. So that's super professional, super recognizable way to pay for stuff. People have almost certainly used the Stripe checkout through their third-party integrations. Lots of big players are using Stripe for this, and they can do tons of stuff like buy now, pay later, like tons of things that we may be looking into in the future. What we want to do is click the button and get into their Stripe checkout flow. They do have quite a lot for inspiration for us. And even if you're using Next.js, they have like a Next.js example. You can create your brand colors and stuff. You can do everything there. But what I really wanted to click was here. I'm going to do the big view for just a moment. They have vanilla HTML, which we may be using to inspire ourselves. They have some React. They even have Next.js, which uses the server components as well. So you can see doing some cheeky requests with private variables somewhere in some of the pages. But we'll explain what the idea is. Next.js, the backend is like Next.js. The idea is that users click the button and then they hit our backend. Click the button here. That submits a form which hits our backend, which talks to Stripe and generates a checkout link for them. The checkout link is special because it's tied to that user and a specific product and price. So we need to tell them, and I want a checkout link because this person wants to buy this for 10 euros. So that's quite neat. And in the Next.js example, they are tying this to having an account already. So we'll be exploring this in the future. I don't know why you'd want to do that. There may be some database problems. If you don't have a user, but you have a Stripe customer, then that may be something that they didn't want to deal with. They wanted the easier way of let's create the user first in our database, let's have them go through the Supabase flow, and then they can check out. But that's a problem we'll have to solve and see if it even exists in the future. For us now, we'll be clicking the button and generating a checkout link for the one product we have, but it does have two prices, so we'll need to tell them the correct price. So we've talked about Stripe checkout, the low-code way to check out. I used to do this like 15 and 20 years ago, and working with banks to get payments, it was a mess. It was so much work. Like if you know soap, it's not just the thing you use when you shower. It was a thing that you used to communicate with banks back in the day. Stripe started making this super easy. I was very excited to get on a waiting list and see when it was available in Greece. It wasn't until I was already in the UK, so I didn't get to use it there. But I'm using it now all over the world. Anyway, they go through the checkout session and then they may end up in a different page to say, hey, you've successfully signed up. Here's your private content, or here's your product you can download, or an error page saying, hey, that payment didn't go through. Maybe you want to try again, or here's some other options, or whatever else. After we manage to do those things, we should be able to buy a test product with the Stripe test credit card. Will we get there? I don't know. We'll be trying. Let's see. So we have these docs. We already have the Stripe library in our project for our webhooks to work. And I did install offline the Stripe CLI as well, which allows us, for example, to do test webhooks. We do have some prices for our product. Now we want to create a checkout session. So we'll need a form that's going to be hitting some place in the end. And then I guess it can have the actual price in there. Interesting. That's going to be the Svelte endpoint. Anyway, this seems to mean that we need a form action for this. Maybe on the same page, really. Will there be anything else in this page? Maybe not, so it could be the default one. We can have a named action just in case, like register one, sign up, subscribe. Let's do the default one. So in the page that we're on, we're going to have many forms, or maybe the one form. What are we going to do? We should have the one form, even if we had many products. But that one form is going to be hitting on our page server.ts this action. I have said that my preference is TypeScript, but it doesn't like it anymore. Oh well. So the default action, what are we going to do? We're going to be talking to Stripe. So talk to Stripe to get a checkout link. And maybe possibly even redirect in this method right here. And on the front end, all we need, I guess, is just a for method post, and it will magically figure out what to hit. So maybe here could be the form. Yeah, so the container for all three products could be the form. But then the button is a submit button. I guess we only have the one price, so we don't care. We'll think about it later. The form can have a hidden input in it that's going to have the active price. So according to what we have here, we can have a hidden input. It's going to be selected price ID, and the value the visible price, let's call it selected price. the value is going to be selected price, and we may need to bind this to the selected price ID. So let's see. Let's go to the inspector. In here, we have the form, we have the hidden input that no one can see. We have selected price ID, and it's price 1N blah blah blah. If we press this button, it should change. It looked like it changed, but I can't tell. So R8U, yeah, PP6, correct. So now on the backend, we should have the price ID, and then we'll be creating a checkout session. Fair enough. Let's go back to SvelteKit and double check inside this method. Let's see an environment variable. I guess it's going to be in the body of the user or whatever. Yeah, so the form data. So in here, gonna have the request object, and we can get the form data, and then the price, price ID. Yes, we can just call it the price ID in here. And then we can console log price ID just to see if this works. So click subscribe, and then did we do anything? No, that doesn't make sense. We should be hitting this, but we aren't for some reason. Seems I do have an error on console log as well. Get that out of here. And yeah, we click this, and we should be submitting to that form action. Nothing's crashing either. So what gives? Restart server? You never know. Nothing. Okay, what have we forgotten? We definitely haven't done the enhance form thing. So in here we have plans. Should they only be top level? Is that the problem? Is the problem that I'm a bit of a mug and I didn't make this, I didn't add this method post to my method here? Oh, Johnny. All right. So now we should be getting something. Yeah, so we get the price ID just fine. So the problem was I forgot to do form method equals post. I was more worried about adding the Tailwind classes. So I kind of forgot. Whoops. And that's it. Let's do Stripe stuff. We have the Stripe client somewhere. What we really want is for our action here, instead of logging all of this, to be creating a checkout session. Now we have the Stripe client in our server library here. The mod is going to be subscription. If there is no price ID, guess we can throw an error. Example of throwing. We can return a fail. Here we go. So the user shouldn't be able to mess this up, and yet I am gonna tell them, I am gonna pretend that they did mess up. Let's do that. So if there is no price ID, we do this. The items is going to be the thing with the price ID. It knows what the product is. We want this. This is saying that unlike the other examples that they have, this should not be substituted in with your real ID, with something you have. So in their example, they were saying here, price ID, use the real one, use a real price ID. Here, use your real, like Stripe key. But here, no, don't substitute anything. Do this because that's how Stripe is going to tell you that you got this session ID. And then we're going to redirect. Which we saw how we can do. It's by throwing. So we'll do this in the end. Redirect helper. Let's double check what we've got here. It's gonna be 303, then session is gonna have URL. Is there a different fail that I can throw? Can I just throw an error and see what happens? Not sure. So if we don't have a checkout session URL, And please throw this error. If we do, redirect to that URL. So here is the moment. The moment is that I'm gonna click this and I'm gonna end up in Stripe. We did it. Awesome. How far in are we? Are we like 2 hours in? Almost 2 hours in, just under 2 hours. And we got there. The price is correct. We have this. It has Google Pay by default, I guess, because we are on Chrome. But it will have Apple Pay. So a cool thing that they do have is an easy way to add the payment methods that you are willing to accept, as well as buy no pay later plans. It's quite insane. But while you're on test mode, then you are not able to use any of those fancy methods. It has like the Google Pay one, but then you have to fill in your details and all of that. They have my brand color here. Nice. Maybe you can set up dark and light mode. So by pressing that button, I'm going to the fail URL. I'm sure, so the cancelled one, because I didn't add correctly the page that we want to go to. So I guess we want to go to the current page, which we should be able to get through the request. What should this be? Should be a string. URL doesn't have href, which is interesting. But I guess it has toString, which should be the same. So by changing this, I'm expecting next time I press the button, I get the product correctly, then go back to wherever I was before. And we can go back with like a query parameter that payment failed or something, and then we can actually say, we're sorry that you didn't go through, like a toast thing, something like that. Error toast, like payment aborted, something like that. And of course we could just get the origin of the URL and then get them to a different page, like error or aborted, cancelled, something like that. If we find that the users are pressing the button test and then they cancel, it's like you can get them to a special page to entice them then. But maybe just for demo purposes, we can go to, where can we go? Let's think about this. Does it have search terms? No. I was thinking of adding like a message or something, like cancelled true. Oh well, doesn't matter. Let's just return there. And on success, we want to go somewhere else. So let's look at the agenda quickly. Server endpoint to create a checkout session. We blasted through this. That was awesome. UI for an error page. We're not doing it. So let's say we did redirect back in case of checkout error. and some UI for a success page. So should we actually build that? I guess. So I think request URL origin. I always forget if it has a trailing slash or not. There is no origin. Oh. There must be a way to find this. You can find the search params as well, so I'm not sure about this. Ah, it's not in the request. Jesus, the request has a URL, but they also have a URL handy object here. Makes everything easier. So URL href is more correct. My watch is telling me to stand, even though I've been standing all this time. So the success URL. The success URL we want to be URL origin slash subscribed. I guess if we know who the user is, we know that they're subscribed already, and we don't offer them like conflicting plans. If they're already subscribed at $10, we don't allow them to subscribe to more. Maybe we allow them to subscribe to more. We don't allow them to subscribe to less, or we split the difference, something like that. Anyway, subscribed. Ah, and let's not forget to include session ID. I'll always wonder whether there is a trailing slash or not. In any case, we want a new route. We want a new subscriber plus page.svelte, and we can create it here. And we can take inspiration from other pages, like this one. The profile page. We can do a check on the backend to see if this is a valid checkout ID that we're getting, but one step at a time. See how big I make the main text Excel. How exciting. Apostrophe character. Let's get it from Wikipedia. I should have a shortcut for this. I should have it on my keyboard actually. Or Easter eggs. So we're claiming that if they do go to the profile page, we'll have something unique for them eventually. Let's pull 4. How do you like those transitions, by the way? They're sweet. Okay, no need to worry too much about the copy, is what I should be saying to myself. However, let's check this page here. Yes, all of this could have max W pros and flex container items center, justify center. right, so the question is, do we get to this page if we go through the checkout? It's right here on the big screen. So you're here. If you are subscribed, you should never be able to see this again. Let's do this annual billing. And I guess let's find the Stripe test credit card. I think I have it here. Must be like 1, 2, 3, 4 or something. 42, 42, 42. The answer to everything. In the future. Say Spain, why not? And subscribe. Let's see. No Google, thanks. It's processing. Nice, we made it. Let's see what happened with our customers table as well. Nothing. We should have a subscription here, which is interesting. Is it because it's a test? Maybe, I'm not sure. Let's have a look in our Stripe dashboard. Test mode. Developers. Webhooks. This one. Right, so our checkout session completed. Didn't actually work. We can see we got a session ID here as well, which is cool. We'll be doing stuff with it, but there was a problem with our webhook, which is unfortunate. Like both of these. Let's look at our Vercel logs. If you want to persist, please provide a storage option. We may set persist session to false to disable this warning. Interesting. So Postgres error for some reason. Interesting. We'll have to check the webhooks later. Let's see if the good thing is the customer is here. So you can see that this person who just bought this does have the test charge. With a fake credit card. And it's all good, but it's something with our webhook handler, which we can see now. So even though that failed on the backend, we still know that we may be able to like manually handle this or have the webhook try again later. But we know which plan they're on. That's good. We wouldn't be shipping this anyway. let's have a look at the handler. So here, they should be getting to the custom subscription created, and somehow that fails. And they're also going to the checkout session completed, which also somehow fails. Because I guess this fails because we have no customer yet. Does the Next.js thing create a customer ID first? It has to be. I imagine yes. Of course, I talked about. Did I talk about this problem? Maybe not. We need a way to tell Next.js that this Stripe user is this user in our database. And because that fails, the webhook fail. The webhooks fail. Let's test this out. So this customer ID, I want to map it to this ID. Let's insert a row. Let's say that this person doesn't show anything useful. Stripe customer ID was this. So let's set this up. And now let's try to retry our webhook. I have a feeling that this is gonna work. So this thing, checkout session completed, resend it. And let's see what happens. I think that was the problem. But we'll need to resolve that. Maybe our whole logic shouldn't be depending on whether the user is already logged in with us. Because that's an extra step for them. They need to log in first and then they click the button to subscribe, but you want to sort it out somehow afterwards. Interestingly enough. So we need a case where if we don't have that customer, we create them, I suppose. We have the email here, so we should be able to have them. But yeah, let's see. All right, it did work, so that was the problem. Were there 2 subscriptions there? Interesting. So they say they created this subscription and then they updated this one, which I don't know what that's about. But in any case, that happened right after the checkout. So let's see. If we resend this, will it also succeed? It did. So the problem was that we didn't have this record. And then if we resend this, I don't know what this one was about. But let's see if it's handled as well. It is. Good. Amazing, even. So now that we have a mapping to that one user to the Stripe customer ID, which we manually did, we should be able to do it automatically. Then we have this one subscription that is tied to that one customer, set to that one user. And if we know this, we can say that this user who does have an active subscription is able to see this content. So that's something we'll do in the next stream, or maybe the next stream soon. We can tell that this user does have an active subscription, so we can show them protected posts, for example. We would have like a user bring me their subscription status. If it's active, show them posts. If they fail to pay at some point, then they become inactive and they cannot see posts again. So that's quite cool. That's something we'll be doing. We managed to do this. We haven't done the customer management. So that person wants to cancel. How do they do it? They send me an email, but they should be able to do it through the Stripe customer management portal, customer portal. So that's a like almost no code way to handle all of this. They can change their way of payment. They can cancel the subscriptions, and it works similarly to the checkout sessions, as far as I understand. So after you have an account and you're logged in, you should be able to go to your profile and have a link there to say cancel my account. That's how it's usually done. And that will be a button that creates your customer portal with Stripe, gets you to Stripe, and you can change your billing details or cancel your subscription indeed. So that's going to be cool to do. But here, because I wouldn't want people necessarily to be logged in and only then they can see the plans, but maybe that's what we'll have to do. We'll see. So leave that to do. We'll need to do it. There was something else we're doing. So the checkout session ID. With the checkout session ID, what can we do? Yeah, apparently we should also be monitoring invoice payment failed. But will they not have an active subscription? Does that get updated? I guess we'll check it out later. With the session ID, what can we actually get? Let's see the Stripe API somewhere. That's going to be the last thing we do today, most likely. Right, so if we do get this session, what happens? We have the customer details, I suppose. Let's check if it is indeed complete. I'm not sure. Unclear, but we will be creating a page of server.ts, and in here have a thank you for subscribing. don't really need meta tags here because crawlers would never get there. We can use their name there. Maybe we don't have it. We can check what they actually bought. So we can check that you got this subscription exactly. Oh, what's the status gonna be? Not sure. Anyway, in here, feels like we can have the URL. We can have a session ID. Yeah, like this one. It even has a comma, which is crazy. And then can bring in the Stripe client. And retrieve that session. If that's not the case, I guess we should be telling them we can redirect them. If no session ID, maybe they're trying to be cheeky, but redirect. Anyway, let's console log the checkout session. Let's see what we get. Let's try to go through another one as well. Subscribe. So this was 42, 42, 42, blah, blah, blah. Email is use the same. Oh, nice. They know that we have a subscription. Oh, that's beautiful. And you can go to the customer portal I guess by clicking this link, they're doing the hard work. Beautiful. Right. So I wonder. Gonna fail again. What else should I do? Because I want to see what the checkout session looks like. Oh well, we'll be sending, I guess, we'll be removing the subscription later and buying another one. I don't particularly want to use new emails because it's been a long session, a long live stream session. But I'm suspecting right, so what we can try is, let's try going to that page again, new subscriber page, and get it direct to the home page, great. But if we had a session ID, we can actually console log. It's remembered by my URL, my browser, the session ID. So we may actually be able to check this out before my dog gets too agitated. Some are just off screen. So let's try to go there. Internal error. So did it have a cheeky apostrophe in the corner? Invalid request. So let's double check how we did the session ID stuff. Yeah, what's that about? What's that about? All right, thankfully we checked this. So is it gonna be this much? Yeah. So that's the actual session that we have. And we get there and the log. Should be this. Yeah, the direct URL was a bit wrong. But on my part, status should be complete. Payment status should be paid. And we can check who they are. So we have the name and the email here, so we could create an account right then and there. But I suppose that will also exist on the webhook. So that's what we should be doing. I don't agree with what the Next.js team was doing over there. Wow. full. So we can check for status complete. And that's going to be it for today. And third of the page, it still works because it's a completed section. So that's all good. I think that's it. What's remaining is to feature flag all of this. So we can, I want to release this code so you can see it, you can check it out as I always do after every live stream. You can peruse it, you can copy paste what you want. We can have a feature flag here. So we can have what can we have? Thinking about it. So we can have an environment variable for this. So if if public products live is true, then you can do all of this. We can do let products equals null, and it's gonna be UI product array or null. Do some mutation. And then all of this, we're gonna feature flag inside here. So feature flagging is a way to release code and make sure that your website works. And then when you're in production, like on Monday midday, your product owner, product manager can enable that flag, enable that feature, be able to monitor it. If something goes horribly wrong, you can turn it off. Or even if you have too many subscriptions, we notice that the webhooks are not firing, even though locally they were working, in production they're not working. You can turn that feature off and get on top of it, because before things get too out of hand. So the load-in is going to be doing essentially nothing. So this, the speed of the page is going to be the same. But if that feature flag is enabled, then we're gonna be showing the product. So if this is true, we're gonna be showing the products, and we're gonna be bringing in this from $env. So let's have a look. $env. We want a dynamic variable this time because we may be changing it on runtime. And I guess let's have it be private, I guess. Dynamic private. So actually how we're bringing it in looks like, like this. If env public products live is true, then we're gonna show the products. If not, then we're not. So some extra feature flagging as a bonus. Put it here. And I'll go off screen to show that in here, so on localhost still here, nothing's shown, but the moment I change my .env here to say products live equals true, and I reload the page, the next user should be able to see it. Maybe I need to restart the dev server. Not quite. The string true. Did I make all of this up? Potentially. I probably named this something else. Yeah, it's not public products live anymore. It's products live. That's it. So you can see that the moment I change this, then we can go live. Then we can actually start selling products. Cool. Can go back to my .env. I won't put it in the example. Or maybe I will. I'll keep it in as live. And in the test file, let's have it as false, even though it will just not be there. Maybe have it as true. Anyway, I digress. Gonna bring this back in to do our final recap. It's been a super long stream, but super fruitful. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've had this website that now, covering in the next video, how are we doing this page resistance? It's through the navigation API. Check the video out when it comes out. We've added this hero section, but only if a specific feature flag is set to true. This section you can select between monthly or annual billing. Then you click the button and you go through Stripe checkout. Maybe in the next episode we'll do something so if you cancel, then you go to a different page where we beg you to reconsider and subscribe. But you can actually go through, you can use a fake credit card to do so because we're in test mode. You won't be seeing this live because live I will not be having the feature flag set to true. So you won't be seeing this, but you can check out the code. You can go to the GitHub always and have your fun. And I think this is going to be it for today. So we got there in the end. We'll see you on Friday for even more action. I guess we have exciting stuff to do then. And we'll need to take care of creating the customer even if they haven't created an account with us. We'll see how we'll take care of that. But lots of stuff to do. We will be doing the membership management as well because you don't want to offer subscriptions when you cannot allow users to cancel them. Like maybe you do, but it's a bit cheeky to do that, to make it a hassle to unsubscribe. There's been a lot of news about companies doing like horror flows. I don't remember what the proper name for it is, but Amazon, for example, they make it so hard, intentionally confusing for you to press the right buttons to cancel a subscription. It's like, do you not want to subscribe even though you're getting like 20% off or on? They make it confusing for you, so you'll click the wrong buttons and then keep paying for Audible or Amazon Prime or whatever else. But that's not the case anymore, because people are going to court. Countries are going to go court to fight this, which is great for us users. Clearly, I'm digressing too much. I hope you've had a lovely day. I hope you've had something productive going on alongside the stream, or you managed to get a lot of learnings from the stream as well. Either way, I really appreciate it. Company, I appreciate your time every time you watch the videos and the streams. So thanks a bunch for all of it. I'll catch you next time.